as you can see with my clothes, definitely not in Cairns. Today I'm in New Zealand. We have a very special guest that I met in Tokyo. This is CJ, who is living in abroad for more than 10 years? 10 years. Today we're going to talk about living overseas. After living in a couple Asian countries for more than 10 years away from New Zealand, I'm pretty excited to hear about what kind of difference he's seen getting through in those Asian countries. And also he's an English teacher in China, so I'm really happy to talk about teaching experience. Alright, so can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm CJ. My name's Chris, but my friends call me CJ. I'm 50 and I've been teaching on and off since 2009, mainly in Asia, teaching ESL English, so the varying levels and varying age groups. So,
Can you tell me which countries have you lived in?
So South Korea, first time, and then Japan, and then China.
So those three.
Yeah.
So how long have you taught English in each country?
So Korea, I taught for 1 year from 2009 to 2010. Then I returned in 2011 for 4 more years, so 5 years in Korea. Japan, 2 years, 8 months, roughly. And then I've done 2 years in China, and I'm on to my 3rd year now. So.
I see. As an English teacher in Japan, and also as a second language learner, I have so many questions.
Yeah, sure.
What made you decided to go to Asian countries? Because I know lots of people love to travel around the Asian countries, including Japan. So I met so many people who said, I've been to Japan. But not many people decided to stay in the Asian countries and teach English. So actually you're the first one who's teaching English in China as a native speaker.
Wow,
so what made you decided to go?
I think when I was at university, I met a few people from different Asian countries because growing up I didn't really know anyone from Asia at all. There weren't many around, Asian people around when I was growing up. So just making friends with Japanese, Koreans and Chinese people and learning a little bit about their cultures and the food. I enjoyed the food, and then I got about halfway through my degree. My major was Māori and Indigenous Studies, learning about Māori culture and that kind of thing. And then I got about halfway through, and I was like, "What am I actually going to use my?" Because I did my degree more out of interest. I didn't really have an end. Like, I'm going to get this degree, and then I'm going to go into politics or teaching today or anything. It was more out of interest, just wanting to learn more about my culture because I'm part Māori. So my father was Māori. Then I just got about halfway through, and then I've become more and more drawn to I did a couple of Japanese papers. I did Japanese literature and Japanese language, and then having friends from other Asian countries, talking to them about their experiences, and then I thought, and I've always wanted to travel ever since I was a little kid. I just always wanted to see the world, and I always had that drive in me. I just never really got around to it. So I was discovered ESL teaching. So there was a careers day at the university, and there was different booths you go around, and then there was different things for there was a couple of Japanese companies, and one was for Korea, and I thought, you know what, it'd be really cool to go to Japan to teach, because I knew a little bit about Japanese history and that, and not really pop culture. I'm not really into anime and all that kind of stuff. It's not really my thing, but
so you got a little bit different entrance from the majority of the Japanese learners.
And I think probably a big draw was just the friends I'd made at university. I made a couple of really good Japanese friends. I was like, that'd be kind of, come over, experience the culture. I was like, that'd be cool. And I also put my name down for one in Korea, and I was probably a really long answer, but
I got it. I've heard some even working a holiday decided to teach English in Japan, but then after that they decided to go back to their own country. That's why I'm just curious why you keep staying in Asian countries.
It's weird. I almost feel more at home in a way, living over. It's strange. I guess I don't really fit in.
Sorry to interrupt, but I understand. Cairns make me feel more like home than I was in actual home.
I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's just I like living in different cultures, experiencing different things, and even though there's a language barrier, there's a certain, I don't know if peace is the right word, but it's comfort in, I don't know, just being by yourself in a new environment. I actually like it. I enjoy it.
I really understand how you feel. You feel even more home than your own real hometown, where you were born. After you staying in 3 Asian countries, what did you find maybe similarity and difference?
I think there are some similarities in the way that I think, at least from my experience, people in Asian countries don't tend to do a lot of things on their own. Like it's always usually a group. Like you go out to dinner as a group, or especially Korea, it's always a group thing. Like you don't get people who go even coffee. Like here, someone will go for coffee and they'll have a book or something. Whereas in Asia, it's kind of not the common thing. So that was something that I thought was different. And also, you don't always get an idea of what people are thinking. Like, they're very guarded. I find
very guarded. Yeah, that's really true. Yeah. So do you think that's a little bit different from introvertness? Is that different?
I think New Zealanders can be very introverted as well, but in a different way. I think if you ask a New Zealander a question, they'll give you an honest answer. Whereas sometimes in Asia, it's almost like for me, if I ask them something, I almost feel like I'm being rude sometimes, or it's like they're not giving me a direct answer because they don't want to offend me. That kind of thing, that communication.
Yeah.
Whereas I think New Zealanders probably are more direct, even though we're not as assertive as maybe say Australians or people from the US.
Yeah.
Like that. So
you said New Zealanders are more open.
Can be. Not always.
Yeah. Comparing to the Asian countries.
From my experience,
Yeah. As a teacher, you've met so many, like a variety of the people, like in ages or like social status or whatever it is, like a variety of the people living in that country but wants to study English. And do you feel any difference of the quality of the students? Like when you talk to the students as a group, do you feel more difference or more similarity?
That's interesting because between the different countries, I taught different age groups. So in Korea, I was mainly teaching high school.
Yeah.
Japan was elementary and middle school.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In China, I'm teaching university, so they're all different.
Sure.
And so I find the older they were, so I've got in China I'm teaching university, so obviously they've got more speaking ability, so I can do more with them or have more conversations.
Yeah.
Whereas in Japan, they were a lot younger, and especially the elementary students, like they maybe didn't understand much, but they had more enthusiasm sometimes. Whereas,
oh really?
Yeah, because university students can be like too busy looking at their phone or whatever, like, hey, over here, I mean, they're good students, but it's like trying to get them to focus. Cause
yeah. As long as I've heard, we all those three countries have the similar English education systems, like focusing on more like paper test rather than just speaking. In this situation, as an English teacher and can't speak their mother tongue, how would you drag them into a communicative classes?
Again, depending on their level or which, the different country, I try and engage them. Like Korean students are really competitive, so anything to involving games.
Yeah.
I mean, most I think classes like Chinese, Japanese, Korean, like some kind of games, which is Korean because they're really competitive. So anything like competing against each other. Try and find their level of their interests, what kind of things they're into. If they're into games or sports or music.
Yeah.
Like nothing Korea, like they're into K-pop. So you try and maybe ask them, what's your favorite K-pop music? What kind of groups are you into? And just think about that.
Yeah. Using different materials to get them interested.
Yeah, different topics there.
I have one favorite phrases that most of the people in Cairns use, which is let's have a go and see how it goes. And I really love that because that's the mentality that I didn't have when I was in Japan. So when I think about something or starting something, I have to do a thoroughly research and then prepare the plans. Yeah. And then stick to the plan. But then after I came to Cairns, lots of people say, let's have a go and see how it goes. And then they even started their own business really casually and then stopped it. It's not work. And I heard that's kind of problem in Australia, like the business crash, right? But at the same time, it's something that we can learn. And I don't know if that's the same as in New Zealand, but that's definitely a kind of tendency we have. Thinking too much before starting. And as you said, you're introvert, but definitely you don't have that kind of tendency because you anyway jumped into the country and started teaching English.
It depends, because I have a tendency to overthink things as well. But at some point you just kind of have to jump in,
What made you jump in then?
I think just experiencing something different.
Like a curiosity.
Yeah, because you kind of weigh it up. If you focus too much on the negatives, you're not going to go. You're trying to go, okay, there's possible things, bad things that happen, but there's all these potential. I can meet all these new people. I can experience all these different things. And, You know, because I've had times where I was in jobs that I was not happy in. So you kind of just have to, I guess, sometimes just take a leap of faith or whatever you want to call it, and just go, okay, I'm going to give this a go. I guess that you have the luxury, at least I have the luxury, if it doesn't work out, I can always come back to New Zealand.
Yeah. So at this moment, you kind of feel fitting in living in an Asian country. So that's why you stayed in.
Yeah, it's like, in a way, it's comforting because it's kind of what I'm used to, even though I've lived in 3 different countries, but it's, I wouldn't say easy, but it's something that I'm familiar with. So I can go, okay, if I leave China and get a job somewhere else, there's a certain familiarity about it.
Yeah. So what kind of advice would you give to the people who overthink, like can't start or can't take the leap?
I would say it depends because I don't do a lot of writing stuff down, but for some people that actually works. You write down the pros and the cons, and then try and think of more pros. Like write everything out and kind of compare them. Okay, what other pros, and try and make a longer list of, because there's always going to be challenges and negatives. But then also, if you look at the challenges, go, okay, how can I overcome that challenge to make it work for me?
Yeah.
Like, for example, a language barrier. I don't speak the language, okay, but if I go there, I can immerse myself in the culture and learn.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
That kind of thing, yeah.
Actually, I've met a lady who did exactly what you said, like traveling after maybe 40 years living in the UK, came back and started to travel in New Zealand, which is her home country.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's cool.
It's all about like changes, I think, like how you see the changes. And I think like people who get interested in traveling abroad are more curious than average, I'd say, because we want to see something different.
Yeah.
Then your answer is like write it down the pros and cons and see from a little bit of distance instead of stucking in the head.
Yeah, but I guess that's something I kind of do that in my head, like, which is kind of contradictory. But if I make a decision, I don't write it down, or I don't ask people, hey, do you think I should do this? I like mull it over in my mind. It's like, okay, does this make sense? So in a way, I'm kind of writing it down, but in my mind, like, does this make sense? Like, okay, these are the possible things that could happen. These are the negatives, and these are the positives.
Yeah.
Like, how do I make this list longer than this one? So I think I tend to do it in my head.
Yeah.
But,
I get it.
Like, I could spend maybe 6 months thinking about it.
Sure.
Then once it's set, it's like, okay.
Yeah. Let yourself take time until you.
Yeah, take time. Don't rush it, but then but also don't go, oh, it's too difficult, I'm not going to do it. Don't rush it. Just give it time. Don't rush either way. Don't rush into it, but don't give up on the idea either. Definitely don't give up on it. Whatever it is.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit going off the topic, but as a teacher, do you feel your students, like, can you understand like their fear or they're afraid of making mistakes or speaking in public in your classes? Do you
sympathize? Yeah, I do. I try and tell them that making mistakes is part of learning. Because I know from my experience in Asia, the students are afraid. To make a mistake.
Don't make me answer.
Yeah. I don't know if it's worried like they're going to get told off if they say the wrong thing, or they don't want to look. The other students are going to laugh at them. They might look stupid. I'm just like, look, making mistakes is part of learning. I have limited experience studying languages, but it's one way you learn is if you say the wrong thing, then your teacher will like, oh, actually you say it this way, and then don't beat yourself up about it. You go, oh, okay, you can learn from it. Because if you're a good teacher, you're encouraging the students to learn. You're not like, that's wrong, you're a moron, I mean, you need to give the students a bit of a push, but if you're making them afraid to walk into a class, then they're not going to learn much either. Their brain's just going to go, no.
So
turn off.
We are not judge. We are not judge to our students.
No. I'm like, it might not be easy. Like you might be an introvert. Like I say, I'm an introvert. But just try. I've got nothing but respect for people that try. Even if their English is really not that great. But you got to start somewhere. Just try it.
Yeah. So then how would you feel like when you talk to the people in that country, like the China or Japan? Because not everyone can speak English. So outside of the school, like as just a Westerner in China, how would you communicate with them? maybe going for shopping or wherever it is, or are there not many opportunities to talk with local people?
So in China, I've had just random people come up to me, like they either want a selfie, like, oh, it's a foreigner, or when I had that just before I left, I was just walking on campus, and it was on two different days. I had students come up to me that they weren't English majors. I've never met them. They're like, oh, are you a foreigner? I'm like, yeah. Like, oh, can we take a photo? I'm like, sure. Because I know like in Korea and Japan, it's common for like students in public school to have classes with a foreign teacher, but in China it's not as common. Most of the students in China have never met a foreigner.
Wow,
yeah,
really?
Yeah. And then you get other people who they maybe have studied English or they've lived abroad and they want to just talk like, hey, I lived in the US or I lived in Canada or whatever. It's cool.
And that might be a nice opportunity for them, like to start getting interested in English more.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, I think in a way you're almost kind of an ambassador for your country if you're living overseas, because people don't interact with foreigners as much in other countries, like unlike New Zealand. So you're probably the only person they've ever met from the country. So if you go and act like a jerk,
kind of representative.
Yeah.
We sometimes can't avoid representing the country if I'm the first Japanese that the person meets or something.
Yeah, then people go, oh, they're all rude, or they're all, they're all drunken idiots, or, it's like, which isn't fair, because it's just one or two
generalization,
people. Generalization,
we
but
can't stop it.
It does happen, so.
So you're kind of aware, not cautious, I don't think, but you're kind of aware of that, so, and you don't really mind to.
Yeah, but and also like this is just a general thing. It's like you're living in their country, follow or respect. Their rules, their cultural norms. Even if you don't understand, try and at least learn.
Yeah, like a respect.
Yeah, just respect where people. Because I've met other foreigners that didn't.
Like
basically.
What's the saying? Like doing Romans do and things like that.
Yeah.
In English saying, I'm not sure if that's
in Rome do as the Romans do,
In Rome do as the Romans do.
But I've met other foreign teachers who do the complete opposite. It's like, well, no, I'm from the US or something like, I'm not going to follow, their rules. I'm going to do my own thing. I was like, well, you're not in the US.
I got it.
It's just that arrogance I don't like. I'm just like, no, it's like you're a guest in their country.
That's what I'm always trying to keep in my head. Like, I feel comfortable living in Western countries, but that might be because I'm just one of the guests. No matter how many years I lived, but at least my mother tongue is not English, and I wasn't born and raised in that country because I couldn't share the background of the cultural background. In terms of that, how many years doesn't matter. Like I still can't get most of the humor in Australia.
Right, okay, yeah.
So that's really, deeply connected to the cultural background. Yeah. So that always caused me to keep in mind, like, okay, so Sayaka, be careful. I mean, don't be arrogant. I'm still kind of partly guest. So, and that makes me, respect the people, the local people always. And I'm happy to be like that. And so that's why I'm happy to hear that you have the similar attitude or behavior.
Yeah, because it's like you don't. It's the thing like you don't walk into someone else's home and act like it's yours. Tell people what to do. It's like, well, hold on, you're the guest. Be respectful. Respect their boundaries, their guidelines, and in the case of countries, their laws. So don't be an idiot.
Okay, so thank you so much, and I'm really happy to talk about teaching experience in English to the living in abroad. And so this is the last question. What is the greatest lesson you've ever learned for the 10 years abroad?
I think for me the greatest lesson is being comfortable being on your own, comfortable being in your own skin, being away from friends and family.
It's kind of adjusting to being in a new environment. Just learning to be alone, I think is a big, even though I'm quite introverted as a person. I'm always surrounded by friends and family, but being comfortable being in a country where you don't know anyone, at least initially. It's totally I don't know, the unknown.
Yeah, and you know, you're going to have a lot of times where you are alone, and just being comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And also just being able to adapt to different cultures, the needs of different schools, because different schools have different ways of doing, different methodologies, different ways of doing things.
Yeah, sure.
And just being able to adapt to different learning styles,
Like wherever you are.
different cultures, wherever you are, different cultures, different cities, different countries, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a great advice. Yeah,
that's what I've
to
learned.
the people. All right, thank you so much, CJ.
You're welcome.
So I'm really happy to catch up with him because we met in Tokyo.
We did
originally, just because we are staying in the same backpacking
that's right.
hostel. So, if you keep opening to the world, this kind of thing happening, meeting someone in Tokyo and we can catch up in different country.
Cool.
So this is something I believe. I forgot to mention about my policy, but I think you're getting remembered, I believe. So passion breaks language barriers. And he's the one who's been practicing living in other countries without their native tongue.
Yep.
I know he said it's kind of shame, but that proves we don't need to study in advance. Just jump into it and go to the depths, as he said. All right, thank you so much for watching this video and looking forward to the next episode. If you've lived in other countries, please leave the comment. Even as a working holiday, we're all welcome to read through these comments and reply back. Thank you so much for coming, CJ, and hope to see you next episode. Bye-bye.